welcome back to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channels, though this guy always disappear from this channel. So how are you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing fine due to coronavirus. So today I'm here with my special person. Maybe you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Babele, and I'm here with my beautiful wife.
Beautiful, always.
Yes, so we're gonna talk a little bit. I came here so that we can actually share with you our experience of what we have been going through with this global pandemic and how we have been surviving. Like most of you, we know that this situation is really scary, and we've been living in a bit of fear. We've been trying to survive the fear to live like normal, but it has been a little bit scary. And we actually had a scary experience. We had a false alarm. We thought that we might have it, or someone in the house might have it, and we had really through a difficult time. But thank God we're here. We're able to share with you and to share what we went through.
Yeah. So Victoria had a doctor's appointment, a 6-month appointment for vaccination. So we went there on the appointment, and she was given the vaccination. For me, really, like what everybody knows and what I know is that if the baby is given vaccination, like for the couple 2 days, she'll be having fever, right? She'll be having fever, and after that, the fever will go away if you give them baby Tylenol. So that what happened. So she was given the vaccination. We came back home. The night of that day, she started having fever, and for us, we took it as normal because that has happened before. We gave her a baby Tylenol, and still, like after a few hours, she started having fever again, and we kept on giving her baby Tylenol. So the second day of that day, like the fever won't go down. That's when we start getting worried. Like, why is it that it's taking too long for this to finish? She just got vaccination. And for a couple 3 days, like the baby started changing. Like she started having like runny nose. So my husband and I, we got so worried about that. We were like, and he told me like, let's call the doctor. I called the doctor, and she was like, it's normal. The fever should go away, and like today, maybe tomorrow, and all that. We're like, okay, since the doctor said so. But for us, it was a little bit scary because my first daughter, after she had flu, the first day of her having vaccination, the flu go away like in like a day or two. And for Victoria, when she had her first vaccination, a day after, the flu was over. But then this one was just taking so long, and we started giving her Tylenol, and then still couldn't go away. 3 days after, my husband started feeling sick. Like he started feeling like his body is weak and all that.
I started coughing,
yeah,
feeling congested, nose, and headaches as well. So I started really showing the symptoms of flu.
Yeah.
Coughing and feeling weak in my body.
Yeah, and then for about 4 days, we were going through that, and he works at the lab, and I'm like, don't you think like you brought this from the lab? He goes like, no, our lab is served. So every time when he comes home, he starts washing his hands and all that. But he was trying to force himself to go to work and all that. But honestly, he wasn't feeling okay. So for him, if he tells me like he's not feeling okay, that means it's serious, because I'm this kind of person who panic a lot. So sometimes he might be feeling bad. He's not gonna tell me because he doesn't want me to panic. But that day was like, he kept telling like, I'm not feeling well. And these days, if you're not feeling well, if you're feeling weak, if you're having fever, all you think about is the coronavirus. So he started forcing himself to go to work, thinking maybe it's gonna go away. I remember him calling me. It was 3 hours or 4 hours before he clocks out from work. He called me and he was like, babe, I can't do it. Like, like I can't force it. I have to come home. And I'm like, don't you think you have to finish your shift maybe? And it's like no, it's really bad, So he came home. and it wrote to his supervisor that he think I should stay home like for 2 weeks to recover. So we stayed here, and Lily Ange started having fever. So the same day. So it was only me that was not getting sick. Imagine, only me. So if he's okay, I'm okay. Even if the kids are sick, I know we're gonna fight it together. But both of them were sick. Oh my God, you guys don't believe. All three of them, except me. I felt like that was just too much for me. I felt like going crazy, you know. So I was like, we should go to the hospital, because I just don't know how we're gonna deal with it. I didn't know how to deal with it because it was also sick. It was weak. Like, he kept telling me like he feels his joint, you know. Yeah,
I was feeling the weakness in the joints, feeling also pain in my back. My whole body was really hurting. I was feeling like that kind of splitting headache and pounding headache, you know, throughout the day. And I'll take painkillers, you know, the headache will go and come back again. I was just feeling really unusual. And plus the panic, the fear that it might be coronavirus, you know, added also more stress to it. Yeah. Actually for me, because already at work, they started already taking measures to protect ourselves, you know, from the spread of the virus. Yeah. And, you know, basically encouraging people to stay home. If you feel sick, if you feel like you have symptoms of flu or fever, just stay home. Yeah. And that day when I came back home early, you know, one of my coworkers noticed that I was not okay. And he actually told me that you seem like you're really not well. I told him, no, I'm not feeling well. He told me, maybe you should go home early. He told me, maybe you should go home early because, you know, just go home and see what happens. You should speak to our supervisor. So I spoke to our supervisor, told her how I'm feeling. And that's where she told me, you know, I think the laboratory, you know, they decided that we should, if somebody is sick, we should just stay home for 2 weeks. Actually, they created a rotation system where, you know, some people will stay home for 2 weeks and other people will be working, and then people will be alternating. So I've been home for 2 weeks. But then that same night, that's when we went to the clinic, right? Yeah. Because the baby situation, you know, our little baby, the little one, our situation really got worse. She could not really breathe easily. She was now breathing through her mouth because her airways, her, you know, nose and nasal ways were actually congested. And she was really struggling now to eat, to breathe. She had fevers and stuff like that. And she was really now looking so weak. Oh, yeah. She could not play anymore. She could not, you know, she was not herself anymore. Yeah, even if you call her, she'll just like look at you. Yeah, just look at you. She was so weak, like she won't eat, she won't play, she won't anything. That what got me so worried. Lily Ange would be crying, him. It was just being a man, like he doesn't want to show me, like, but it was really so myself I was sick, but I was also taking care of the baby. You worked me with really Ange, but then I could tell like it's really bad. So then that night, you know, we couldn't wait. It was around midnight. We decided to go to emergency. Went to the UK hospital, where we're really well received. You know, they registered. And what happens, like right now, the hospitals are treating every patient that comes as a potential coronavirus patient. You know, they basically handed us masks right there from the front desk. Imagine the baby couldn't breathe, but we had to they had to cover the baby. Oh my God, that made me feel so bad. And everybody, when they told them that we having fever, like everybody looking at it like being scared. People are really scared. Yeah, they were really scared. But they you know, really the UK hospitals, they are really professional. They treated us so well. They registered us, gave us all the, you know, the stuff you put on around your arms and stuff like that, and the baby's ankle. Those bracelets. We went there to the back from the place where you're entering. Already they started treating us. They had to measure the temperature. And they found out that the baby's fever was really high. Yeah, they looked at the fever, you know, at the level of the fever, and they had to, from there, that entrance, they had to basically suck the, you know, that mucus from the baby's, you know, airways, from the baby's nose. And then, but she was really in a bad shape. Our firstborn Lily Ange was also not feeling well, but she's a strong girl, you know, so you could not really see. She looked like she actually doing well, but she was also sick. Then we went there in the clinic. assigned us a room where basically it was basically an isolation room, you know, a confinement room where they put people who have coronavirus. You know, actually all the signs on the door showed that, you know, it's really a place where people are being, you know, quarantined. Yeah. And we had to stay there, and the doctors were visiting us. All the doctors, the nurses were really fully protected, fully covered. So they were not taking chances. And
me seeing doctors coming in that room covered like that, that got me so scared.
It was scary.
And the first thing they were like, we have to take the coronavirus test. I was like, oh no way, you know. So I'm like, okay, if they have it, then that means I have it too. So I was so worried. I didn't want to show him. So when they put the baby on the bed, they were taking like
they basically, what they did first was take the temperature.
Yeah.
You know, and just to show really how high, to look at how high the fever is. And then the next thing that they did, especially for the little one, they had to really multiple times, they had to suck out the mucus out of.
Yeah, and when they were sucking out the mucus, you know how the baby was crying, and I started crying. Like, I was like, oh my God, this. And they was like, no, it's okay. That time he's telling me it's okay. I'm waiting for his turn. I'm waiting for Lillian's turn. I was crying so bad that day, and it's.
So and then, but really the procedure was not really that complicated. It was very simple. To measure the temperature, they had to give both babies, you know, painkillers, you know, and fever medicine, you know, just to control the fever, and they did that just to see really how they will respond. But for the little one, it was you know, nasal ways were completely congested. They had to suck out using, you know, a pump, you know, to suck out all the mucus. They did it 4 times while we were there. Yeah. And after they did that, the baby started really looking a little better. We gave her milk, and she drank, you know, she kind of started improving a little bit, and I think that really helped, because even one nurse even said that your baby was drowning because of all that congestion in her nose.
And after when she finished eating, like, she went to sleep. She slept for a little bit. And they were just watching over her, and he was really, really bad at that time. Yeah. So after that, the baby wake up, she pooped. I think also that helped her, like, cause for all those 4 days, like, she couldn't poop, like, cause she wasn't eating, so there's no way like she could poop. So she pooped, and then they came in again, and the doctors did the same procedure. Like few minutes, okay, and they were like, okay, we just took the coronavirus test, and it takes a little bit long to come, so you guys can go home, and they'll call you tomorrow for the result. Oh my goodness! Few minutes before we leave, Lillian's fever became so high. I was like, what is
just
this?
Before we left the hospital, Lillian's fever really increased, and the other nurse was coming now to release us. We told her that this one also, her fever is really increasing. So she also gave some painkillers to Lillian, and then we stayed there for a little bit just to observe how Lillian was responding. Luckily, the fever went down a little bit, and then we were discharged.
The fever went down a little bit, but she was weak. But then we also didn't want to stay there in the hospital, because like, it's the hospital, like, a lot of things are happening there. So I was like, if we don't have it, we don't want to stay here longer, then we're gonna take
and plus it was just not comfortable. I mean, the hospital service was really good. People they treat you so well. But you know, those rooms, there's only one small bed like this, and then there are 2 chairs, you know, where you can sit, but you're not really comfortable. And we had, you know, our older baby that we had to be carrying. And I was coming out of work. I didn't sleep yet, and that was already around 3 a.m. or something. We were still at the hospital, so I was really tired already.
He had to be carrying Lillian, because Lillian, she's so heavy for me to carry standing up with her, and there's no way I could be like carrying her. So for me, like, I prefer carrying Victoria because she's a little bit light. But imagine if they can't see, she was really heavy, but there was no other choices. So we went there, and they prescribed Tylenol, was it Tylenol?
Yeah, they gave us, basically Tylenol for Tylenol and ibuprofen, because I think they kind of like combining the two medicine, so that you don't end up overdosing on them, because they can be really heavy on the babies, especially on their kidneys or their livers. So they gave us prescription of Tylenol and ibuprofen for Liliange, and there was also a Tylenol, but a suppository, like a rectal Tylenol for the baby, because the baby would not really swallow the medicine. And that's, with the baby, as soon as she was given the suppository, she really responded quickly. Her fever went down so quickly.
It really did.
And the following day after we got home, she started really improving so quickly. She never got the fever again, and she got better. And I think because all that mucus that was sucked out of her really made it made a huge difference for her. To our surprise, that following day, that night, Liliange's fever really, peaked, and that really scared us so much, but we tried our best to do all the measures to keep the fever down, to kind of strip her naked,
like her dad took the cold towel and
putting cold towel a little bit on her head, giving her a lot of fluid, and that really helped a lot. And then when the doctors called to give us the results, and she told them that Liliange's case was now really bad, and her fever kind of spiked. The doctor said that it could be a stomach flu, it could be stomach flu, and prescribed a kind of medicine for her, for the stomach flu, which we went to pick up at the pharmacy.
Oh my God, that medication! When I got to the pharmacy, I was like, I'm here for pickup, and they're like, oh, okay, because she doesn't have Medicaid, and they're like, the medication is like $163. I called him, I'm like, should I take it or leave it? And they go like, yeah, just buy it, it's okay. So we paid for that, and when I came home, we gave it to her, and she also started feeling better. So guys, I really thank God that everything is back to normal. My baby's back, because when they called us that morning, that afternoon, they were like, oh, the coronavirus result is out. I was like, oh God, please help me. And I was like, what is the result? And she goes like, it's negative. I was like, oh, thank God. That's why I was like, thank God. And she started laughing. She's like, oh yeah. And after that, they was like, we'll keep on checking on them, calling and try to check on them and stuff like that. So I really thank God that everything is back to normal. My baby's feeling okay. And
our two babies also.
Our two babies are feeling okay, and he's going back to work tomorrow. And the girls are fully recovered, and I'm here. I didn't catch the flu or anything like that. So
you also got flu for about 2 days.
Yeah, for about 2 days, but so I started drinking like lemon and stuff like that, and thank God it didn't get worse. So if you have been through that, guys, I'll say like it's not an easy experience to go through.
It was very scary, because nobody wants to catch the coronavirus. We don't wanna take that chance. But also, what really helped us survive this, survive this whole thing, was really, seek medical help as quickly as possible. My advice is that if you go through this, somebody in your house is showing those symptoms of flu and cold, you really take it seriously. Go to the clinic, see the doctors. They're not gonna assume it's a coronavirus. They will have you tested, and they will treat you very seriously. They will try to treat the symptoms. Even with the coronavirus, there is no medication for it. All they're doing with like other flu, they just treat the symptoms. So the important thing is to keep the body temperature normal. By treating, by giving you, fever medicine, and kind of flu medicines that just control the symptoms. It's very important. If they tell you to take your medicine 4 times a day or every 4 hours, do it every 4 hours. Don't be negligent. Don't dismiss it. Don't just take it seriously. Take it every 4 hours. As recommended by the doctors, until you really fully recover. And also there are other things that also we did during that time. And I was drinking a lot of lemon tea with honey, as much as possible. I was really drinking that the whole day, just to rehydrate the body and to just boost my immune system. There's also this treatment, this other kind of immune booster with vitamin C that was also mixing in the water or in your tea and just drinking that as well. So those are stuff that really help. With the babies, always control the temperature. Give them the painkillers, the fever medicine, just to keep the temperature normal. Because the fever is not really a bad thing, because fever shows that your body is fighting an infection. However, you don't want the fever to be too high, because that can also have some other negative effects on the body, especially on children. But try to control the fever. Always use your thermometer to measure your baby's temperature and keep it to about below 100 degrees. If it goes too high, above 102, or if it goes to 105, that's really extreme. You have to rush the baby to the hospital. But that's basically really what helped us.
And also, if you're home, though you are feeling like you're getting fever or anything like that, but I advise you to be at least a day drink lemon tea or lemon water twice a day. That really helps you to put your immune system strong before you get all that. Drink cup of lemon tea in the morning and evening before you go to bed, or whatever time you think is good for you before you go through all that. So I think that would prevent for you to go through all that. And also for the coronavirus, always wash your hands, stay away, stay home, always sanitize your hand. And I also heard, I don't know if it's true, I heard that there are people who are already positive who are coming on the people's cars, on the cars, and then just touch it and stuff like that. So if you go outside, and just make sure you sanitize your car and stuff like that. Always, this is about being clean. And if you don't have anything to do outside, to the store, just stay home and always wash your hands. Because remember, if you're a family of 10 people or so, if one gets it, that's the whole family is affected. So
definitely take all the precautions. Don't this is not a joke. People are dying out there, and it's really serious. What it does is it turns into a pneumonia. So it kind of really disables your lungs, that you're not able to really breathe easily. And breath is life. So if you cannot breathe, then you basically are dying. And that's why you see the doctors talking about the need for ventilators in the hospitals. Basically those are machines that are designed to help people who cannot breathe on their own, help them support their breathing. And it's really serious because it targets the lungs. It starts by going through your nose. That's why people are covering. You're wearing masks so that you don't. The pathogen don't go through your nose. So that's why you're covering your nose. But once they go there, they go to the back of your mouth, and then they develop some kind of cold. They cold symptoms where you feel like that itchiness. You feel like your throat is itching. You like a sore throat, and then it won't remain there because of the mucus that are coming out of your nose and going through your throat. It will also go down to your lungs, and then when it reaches the lung, that's when it becomes really difficult to cure. I hear also people who are saying that when you start feeling that the itchy throat, or sore throat, you could be using warm water with salt, saline water, or warm water with salt and some lemon. You can you gargle that water, clean up your throat. Throw away that water after gargling, and that helps kind of disinfect the back of your throat. It's really a best way to really deal with it before it reaches your lungs. I think those things are precautions that people should be taking as well, because I also had kind of a sore throat during this time, and I was basically doing the saline water, taking, gargling, the saline water, and that really helped me very quickly. Even though it took longer than normal, I felt like it took a little bit longer for me to cure, to recover. But I'm here, and I feel like I'm really feeling a lot better now, because of that.
Yeah, and also doing all that, like I said, and most importantly, prayer. Okay, always pray. It's only God that can do it for us.
Yes.
That's all I can say.
Definitely.
Is there anything else you want to say?
I think we've covered everything. You finish on a good point. It's really important to pray that God protects you, because we're fighting an invisible enemy that you don't know where you can catch it, who can infect you. You don't know. So it's really important that we really ask God to just protect us and cover us, because it's really, in the end, it's really up to Him. He can offer better protection.
So guys, thank you so much for watching us. If you're new to our channel, please subscribe, share this video if you think it help, or if it's gonna help somebody. And if it's your first time here to this channel, thank you so much for watching, guys. This is my husband once again, and please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in our next video. Please stay safe. Thank you.
See you. Keep safe.
Keep safe.
Cheers.